Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And before we jump into this video, I just want to let you guys know that I officially uploaded the full bundle pack onto my website. If you guys do go to NCashOfficial.com and click Trade Like a Crusader right here, or even if you just want to scroll down on the homepage under the Welcome to Crypto Valhalla, basically under this is my Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, roughly around $50, but it is a lot cheaper than if you were to buy everything on the website, which this does include everything in the website. Also, you only have to purchase this once, and I will be releasing more and more content, and the more and more content that does get released also goes back into this pack as well without you needing to purchase it again. So just to let you guys know, that is fully released. You guys don't have to purchase that. Pretty much all the information that is on there, you could pretty much do your own thing if you want. You don't need to follow my plans or anything like that. But also in the news, so let's check out what is happening within the market. So we do see Bitcoin creeping above the 44.6K zone. It is absolutely crazy to see how fast things have moved in the last couple days. It hasn't even been a full week. I think it's been like roughly 4 or 5 days since we had the major downfall in crypto, but it wasn't really anything initially, right? We're talking about like $6,000 getting swept up from Bitcoin, which is nothing really when we're talking about the past. That's why when I was telling you guys about the Bitcoin chart and we're talking about 30-40% pullbacks going back to February, I was like, I don't know why anybody is really kind of panicking right now. So overall, I told you guys just wait a little bit on buys, but I initially told you when I would buy, so if you were in the Discord, you would know when I bought. Also, I even tweeted out when I was buying as well. Overall, when we're talking about HBAR, HBAR is down here at number 43, still sitting around 38.5 cents, roughly almost, up 2.43% on the 24-hour, only down about 17.71% on the 7-day, which is nothing really kind of crazy, to be completely honest with you. Now, XRP, on the other hand, has been kind of trading sideways a little bit here. Nothing too crazy in terms of upward momentum. But that is a lot of altcoins as well, even if we're talking about ADA and stuff. So overall, the market looks fairly good. Ethereum is back up over $3,000. Now let's talk about HBAR. So HBAR looks extremely bullish. When we're talking about this, first off, let's check out what the next line of defense is that we really need to break, and that is pretty much the past all-time high. So when we're talking about this, there is some resistance in between the 40 centile to about the 41 centile range. So an official break up above 41 cents would basically be the clear picture. But as you guys do see, we are topping out a little bit at about 40 cents. So we need to break up above 40 cents to really get a clear picture on where we are actually going to go. But as you guys do see, look at what is eerily similar to what we are just doing right now. If we go back to the initial breakout event to go to the all-time high that we just made, look at the candles and look at how the pattern is playing out a little bit here. So we see this one that tried to creep up a little bit to 40 cents. This one actually tried to creep up exactly to 40 cents, but we bottomed out a little bit, or I should say topped out a little bit before we got there. But on the next candle, we see this one actually got a little bit higher, actually. We actually broke out of 40 cents officially and actually creeped up over 42 cents. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. I think for what it is worth, HBAR will be at this all-time high by the end of this month. I really do think so. And when we're talking about this resistance point up here, this isn't even the official resistance point. There is resistance up at the 58.5 cent zone. But realistically speaking, this is the major key of resistance here at about 50 cents. So I think once we break out of the 50 cent zone, next I think that is pretty much going to be the clear picture on where we really kind of head to. Now, in regards to support zones as well, we could put the support zone on the screen for you guys just to see if we will retest it. Which again, going back to my initial statement from I think it was yesterday, right? I said that we could retest 36 cents. We actually came down and retested 35, almost and a half cents, which is totally fine. We actually retested some resistance going back to the 21st, which is 2 days ago. But overall, When we're talking about the chart for HBAR, it looks fairly strong. Looks like we bounced off of the 50-day MA pretty strong, especially going back to the 21st as well. We regained that, which is very good to see as well. It's showing a lot of strength at that level. Now, in regards to the overall levels that we're currently trading at, let me get rid of the 200-day MA. Let's go to the RSI, right? So when we're talking about the RSI, I've been telling you guys that we really need more volume on this, and it looks very good right now. There's no real problems in terms of the RSI. It doesn't look over, bought. It doesn't look oversold right now. Nothing is actually really, changing in that aspect. I still think that we go much higher from here. But the biggest call for concern is the next topping out point on the RSI. I know that we just hit this level here going back to the February 24th of this year before this got rejected off, but I don't think that we're going to be doing that. We're actually hitting a little bit of a support zone going back to January. So if we can actually break up above this level, which I think is what was stopping us to actually break above 40 cents officially, I think that once we break out of this, this is where we will see the USD chart break out as well. So I'm watching the RSI fairly closely here, as well as watching the major support zones and also the resistance zones. I want to see this support hold at about 36.7, fairly strong. I don't want to see us break below that, because I do think that if we did break below this, we'd obviously retest the 35-cent zone, and if that's broken, we will come down and retest the 50-day MA at about 29.5 cents. But I don't think that that is in store for us in terms of HBAR, because even when we're talking about the USD chart, we also have to talk about the Bitcoin chart. And I just want to say, for anybody who has been watching this channel for a fairly long time, what do you guys see happening right now on this chart? I want you guys to comment down below what you guys see right now, because obviously what is happening on this chart is we are retesting the support. We bounced off of the support and we hit a resistance point. So right now, overall, when we're talking about the major resistance zone on the Bitcoin chart, it's around this zone up here. Okay, we actually topped out a little bit on the drop on the 19th, but I think that this was just a free fall event. Now, this is a support zone as well that we actually hit and topped out a little bit on resistance going back to the 14th of September before we hit the all-time high. So overall, when we're talking about the Bitcoin pair compared to the USD pair, even on the weekly, right? When we're talking about the weekly chart for the Bitcoin pair, it looks fairly strong, all right? But we are still ranging towards that resistance zone. Now, there is no resistance here besides what we are seeing right now, because if we look at the chart, we already made the all-time high. This is above all these levels. Don't regard this major red candle going back to September. This actually wasn't realistic. But overall, when we're talking about this major resistance zone, all we really need to do is break out of this, and we will retest the all-time high, in my opinion, if we could break above this point here at about 923 sats. Now, again, within this chart, I also will look at the RSI. So obviously, we're going to be looking at the weekly RSI right now currently, but overall, you could see what is happening. Okay, you could see where we topped out a little bit on the all-time high. We could see where we retested as well. And now we're kind of building back up some strength. Now, if we go to the daily chart, this RSI is going to look extremely different. But overall, it's still the basis that we already bottomed out on some solid support. We could actually see, because they already gave us a little bit of a grid line here at about the 50 level. Now, we do see that going all the way back to some major support going back to to May. We even see that we bounced off of it in August before we made this run to the all-time high as well. So overall, from our current level on the RSI, okay, there's major resistance on the zone, which is great that we didn't break below it, because we obviously would have been hitting some resistance at that point. We bounced off a solid support, and it looks like we are going much higher. Now, in regards to HBAR, I'm also looking at a lot of charts in regards to the entire market as well. Now, the biggest chart to watch for right now for our altcoins is the total crypto market cap. We actually see the total crypto market cap after we broke below the 50-day MA, okay? We regained some strength at about that, $1.15 trillion market cap range. And we're actually trading on the 50-day MA, so we gained some strength, found some support there, and now it looks solid, right? we look very good in regards to what is happening next. Now, obviously, we are hitting some resistance, right? Overall, the major resistance point right now that we actually are around is this level here at about that $1.193 trillion level. That is pretty much the resistance going back to August. This is actually a solid resistance point going even back to the initial date where we pretty much ranged to go to the all-time high, going all the way back to May of this year. So realistically speaking, if we could break out of this little bit of a wedge that we're in between a chop zone of the 50-day and also resistance points, I think that once we actually break out officially on this, we will see a breaking point around all of the altcoins. Now, of course, Bitcoin is ranging around the 45K zone right now. I'm obviously watching Bitcoin with Bitcoin dominance, as you guys already know. I'm also watching the dollar very closely as well, because the dollar, for what it is worth, has been hitting some resistance points. I was actually waiting for it to retest the 93.73 zone up here. That's why the X is up there. I was saying, you know, hopefully we could top out somewhere up there. But it looks like we didn't even need to go that high. We actually topped out a little bit on resistance at about the 93.44 level, which means, hey, the dollar is rejecting and it looks a little bit weak. Hit a little bit of some support. It's actually a little bit of a resistance zone as well that turned into support, going all the way back to August as well, going back to, you know, the beginning of August. This goes all the way back to even April and before that. So overall, when we're talking about the level that we are at right now, it's kind of crucial for the dollar, but I do think that we go much lower here, especially when we're talking about the infrastructure bill getting passed and all that kind of stuff. So in regards to what the market is showing me for HBAR, is that HBAR looks extremely strong. It's gaining support at these high levels in the 30s. For anybody who bought down here, which I told you guys when I bought, right, it was around this level down here. I think the highest point that I bought was about 32.8, which was roughly around this zone here. And we're talking about, you know, a great increase in profit from even this level here. So I'm still in profit about over, you know, 5 cents and a half on each of those shares that I bought down here, which wasn't much, to be transparent with you guys, but still, it doesn't matter. Overall, when we're talking about the long-term view for HBAR, we already know where we're going to be going. I don't feel bad at all for buying even around these levels, because think about it like this. When I was buying XRP under 20 cents, and then I officially started buying at around 30 to 40 cents, I knew the next pinpoint was about $1 plus, and we got there. The next pinpoint from our current levels is still $1 plus, and I will tell you guys that because I've done what needs to be done to actually look at that. Overall, from a percentage-wise, right, when we're talking about the percentage pump from even the bottom of this candle to the top here, 162% of an increase in price. I mean, overall, when we're talking about the pullback that happened down here, which was roughly about a 36.58% that led to this pump, and we're talking about what led to this drop here, which was roughly about a 51.38% of a decrease in price, we could say from this point here to the next major move up, all right, we're talking about like over 180% of an increase in price. And if we're talking about from the bottom of that point up, you know, right now, 180% would still bring us to about 80 cents, but I don't think that that's the stopping point. I think the next move up is at least a 200% of an increase in price, which would bring us to around 85 cents. But we got to remember now, what we didn't have back here was crypto.com. We didn't have the major exchanges that we pretty much just grabbed, right? We have crypto.com. I think we have, I want to say Bitstamp, I believe. I honestly, it's been so long since I actually done a video on those exchanges just now. I think it's been like a week. I know it sounds like it's not that long of a time period, but with how much information that I read a day, it is. Overall, when we're talking about what is going to be happening next, I truly think that $1 plus is the next major move up, because there's no reason why we should top out around the 85 cents level, especially when we're talking about Matic, we're talking about Solana. You know, a lot of people are comparing HBAR to Solana currently. So when we're talking about $1 plus right now, it's only about a 251.5% roughly of an increase in price from our current bottom levels here. So overall, when we're talking about the next major move up, I think that $1 is in our next target. And I strongly believe that, especially with how much FOMO is going to be happening. We know that the volume has been piling up for HBAR, and it's a lot stronger now than most other altcoins, especially with this major move from the bottom to the top level that we're at right now currently. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.